Alright. We have here a brand new Logitech H111, a basic office or work from home or online class headset. I got this from Shopee for 430 Philippine peso. This is a single connection type of headset which only connects through a wired 3.5mm jack. And do note that this is a combo jack which has only one jack for both microphone and audio. It is compatible to all cell phones and most modern laptops, but not for most desktops who has a separate female jack for the microphone and audio. You will need an adapter to make this work for a desktop computer. Logitech H111 is very light at only 74 grams, with a size of 162 by 144 by 46 millimeters. And the cable is on the longer side at 235 centimeters. The microphone here is unidirectional, which means you can swivel it to front or back at 180 degrees. It has a sensitivity of plus or minus 4 decibels and frequency response of 100 Hz to 16 kHz. We have the user manual here, written in multiple languages. The sensitivity of the Logitech H111's headphone itself is at 32 ohms or 100 plus or minus 3 decibel. And its frequency response is 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Okay. I am not a fan of this old school packaging which can be very messy and makes it really hard to separate the item from the package. At last, I have taken out the headset itself. Let's go through the build of the device first. The earpads of the Logitech H111 is made of a cleanable leatherette, which is how Logitech calls it. But touching it right now, it feels like a really thin piece of a foam or maybe a cloth. It is really thin that when you touch it, you can feel the hard plastic parts inside. That's how thin these earpads are. I'm not having enough confidence on the durability of these earpads. It's probably wise to buy an earpad cover for this to protect the earpads and for additional padding as well. The microphone is about 4 inches long and it has a flexible stem. I love the foam or the boom in this microphone, which means it can cancel out more wind noise. I know the specs mentions 180-degree rotation, but it can actually rotate more than that. Probably about 200 degrees. With this rotation, you can wear the microphone side from either your left or right ear, which is nice. The headband is just plain plastic. It's a bit thin for my taste and has no foam to protect your head, nor any metal for durability support, so be careful around this part as it looks fragile to me. But the good thing about this headband is, it is adjustable to about 3 inches. You can extend around 1.5 inch on each side. So if you have a big head, that will not be a problem. Overall, the build is okay. Not that great, but nothing really bad or alarming here. And do keep in mind that the price of this headset is about 6 to 8 times cheaper than the likes of Jabra, so don't expect too much. For its price, the build is good. You get what you paid for here, probably getting even more. Everything here is plastic, so be careful when using this. For example, don't bend it outward too much, as there is a tendency that the plastic might break. Be gentle when using it. Also, I would recommend to wipe your sweat on your ears, since the earpads is too thin, the sweat might go through the parts inside the headphones and might cause shortage or something. I highly recommend using earpad covers here. And let's not forget the cable, which looks thin. Headset cables from Miniso seems to be thicker than this, which usually breaks easily. Hopefully Logitech used a more durable and higher quality wires here, since when the cable breaks, the whole headset will be useless. We'll see. If this headset lasts for 10 months or more, I will be happy with that. Okay. For music listening, I would not recommend the Logitech H111. It is not made for that purpose anyway. But of course, I still tested it for music. There is a minimal bass here. Maybe just about 30% of the bass that you can get from Sabbat E12 Ultra. Music comes out a bit flat and basically just not ideal for music listening. I also tested this for the sound separation of the right and left earpiece, but unfortunately, there were no distinction between left and right here. Both sides just outputs the same exact sound. So it is not a true stereo headset. It is just sending a single sound to the two earpiece. But again, Logitech H111 is not designed for music, so these are all expected. It is created for office use, for meetings, calls, voice recording, and such. And it's a good thing that it excels on those area. All my voice calls, both from the PC using MS Teams and from cell phones, are all good. My voice comes out clear and solid to the other side, and at the same time, I also can clearly hear and understand the incoming voices. Although, there are several times where I experience some weird slight echo effects and sometimes a slight muffled sound, which is probably the noise cancelling doing its job. To get more idea on how the microphone on the Logitech H111 sounds, here are sample recordings done on different noise environment.
This is a test of the microphone of Logitech H111 on a minimal noise environment. Test mic 1 2 3. Test mic 1 2 3. This is a test of the microphone of Logitech H111 with a simulated speed noise in the background. Test mic 123, test mic 123. This is a test of the microphone of Logitech H111 with electric fan about 1.5 feet from my face and blowing directly on my face. Test mic 123, test mic 123.
I am impressed with the noise cancelling of the Logitech H111. At this price range, I was not expecting this strong noise cancelling capability. The first microphone test was done on a semi-noisy environment. My home office is in a roof deck with open windows, and our house is beside a street where many vehicles drive by, and I was not able to hear any of that from that first recording. For the second recording, I recorded that beside a laptop, playing in full volume, a video of a very busy street, with lots of vehicles buzzing their horns, people talking, and more. But in the recording output, I could barely hear any of that. Although, that slight echo and muffled effect on the voice happened there. Looks like when it cancels out some background noise, some parts of the voice are also being cancelled out as well. But overall, still a very impressive noise cancelling capability. The third recording is just really harsh for the headset. As mentioned in the recording, my face was only about 1.5 feet away from a full power big electric fan, blowing wind in my face, when I recorded that. I was actually surprised that I can still understand my voice on that recording. Overall, at this price range, the Logitech H111 might have one of the best noise cancelling on a headset's microphone. Alright. Logitech H111 is definitely not perfect. The build quality is subpar and all plastic. The earpads are really thin with materials that might not last that long. And the cable is scary thin. But, I've been using this headset for more than a month now, and everything is still intact, and I have not encountered any issues at all. So my negative first impressions might be wrong after all. Hopefully. For 1/8 of Jabra's price, you get a decent noise cancelling for the microphone, a reliable wired connection, compatibility to any modern devices and operating system, and a lightweight headset that you can stick to your bag and carry anywhere. I think that's a good deal. Just don't expect to get a good music listening output here. If you are looking for a headset that you can use for both voice calls and music, then the Logitech H111 is not for you. Otherwise, if you need something just for office or online class or voice chat use, then you should seriously consider buying the Logitech H111. If you enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up. If it has helped you in any way, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Millisuge for watching. Noba Air.